Goody goody everyone, this is Dayhawk bringing to you episode 23 of Shaman King 2021. So this episode leaves off where Mephisto E appears, and what can I say? Nothing much happens in this match, only towards the very end of the episode, but nothing much happens in this match because I felt like Ryu, Faust, even Yo at a certain moments in the beginning, they were just showing off their the results of their training. That's what I felt. That's what the way I took it. Um and Team Iceman were trying to attack with all their might and strength, but with no avail. And it's all about, this episode felt like Pino's hurt pride and Yo's team showing off. I don't know if you guys, after watching the episode, you felt the same way, or you felt something different. Please leave a comment if you got a different vibe from this episode. But that's what I felt. I mean, nothing much happened in the match, only that we get a brief backstory of Faust's ancestor, how he made a deal with the devil, and we get to see Ryu's new strength, new power, and after the whole background story of Faust, Pino was sensing like this overwhelming mana or Furyoku coming from Faust. So he decided to attack Yo. But Ryu took the bullet for Yo, and he ends up getting frozen. And the other two members of Iceman try to kill him, but luckily, through his sheer strength of will, maybe, and his burning desire and loyalty, he managed to melt the ice away, and he ends up unleashing his new power. And then we have a long speech, and to sum it all up, Ryu is pretty much thankful to Yo and Anna for changing his life around, because if you remember from the very beginning, he was a leader of a gang who was just hanging around at the graveyard. And after meeting Yo, he ends up changing his life around, and he's forever grateful, and he will do what he can to help Yo achieve his goal of becoming Shaman King. And as you know, with Faust, there's no reason for him to become Shaman King anymore, because he got what he wanted from Anna. He got Eliza back in some form. And then with Ryu, his overall goal is to find the perfect place for not just himself but for everybody else. And so both men has no reason to become Shaman King, so they're gonna give all their power to Yo, and help him become Shaman King. And you could see that, their loyalty unfold, and and they will do what they can, and they will follow Yo's commands, that sort of thing. And Ryu unleashes his Yamata no Orochi, and Pino was like all in shock because even Ryu, he senses this overwhelming mana, and he knows that his team has lost. Mind you, if you noticed that those two haven't launched their attack ever since the match started. And Rio pointed it out that Yo wants to be the one who finished them off in one blow. And he's not gonna do anything to quote unquote jeopardize that, unless Yo, like, it's okay, you do you, and that sort of thing. And you kind of feel for Pino, because I was totally on his side since the last episode, and I already gave my grievances. But in here, I sympathize with Pino because I was in his shoes, where I think we all were in his shoes, where we train hard for something we like. Let's say we train hard for the Olympics, or we train hard for voiceover, or drawing, whatever that may be. We train hard to reach that certain level. However, you may come across someone or a group of someones who also loves the same craft as you do, but they might be more faster. Maybe they pick up some few things much faster than you do. Like anything that you had to train extra hard to reach that level. And we all been through that, But to be fair, to be absolutely fair, they had Hao's book. And I treat Hao's book as the Akma Infinium. As you know, the Akma Infinium, for those who are Elder Scrolls fans, know that the Akma Infinium gives you godlike powers and abilities depending on what you choose, whether it be the warrior side, the thief side, or as a caster side. Your powers get elevated, your abilities get elevated, everything gets elevated. So, I mean, to be fair, I mean, the Icemen were unnumbered, and they lost the moment they encountered Yo's team. Let's be honest, because of the book. But I have an interesting question that I want to ask you guys. Do you think that Yo's team would have still beaten Team Iceman without the teachings of Hao's book? Okay. And for me, I think barely. They still would have won, but just barely, in my opinion. But, it's an interesting question to answer. And I'm curious of what you put in the comments on that. Um, and so you witness a few flashbacks of Team Iceman and what they had to go through to be part of this tournament, you know, and to be beaten by these strangers who just came from a hot spring, as he says. It's like it hurts his pride, and I feel for him. I do. um and so Pino, out of his rage, tries to attack Yo 2 times, and the third time with the team together, and Yo was unharmed, and Yo unleashes his spirit of sword and tells them, "Come on, guys, give me your all. I want you guys give me all your strength, and I will do the same." And so they oblige. They unleashes their final attack called the North Pole Aurora, and Yo defeats them, and they move on. You, you know. Now, here is the interesting part of the episode. So at the end of the match, Ren is in town, and here comes Hao, and he offers, training, because he, as you know, he's the creator of his book, and he's willing to offer that plus more secrets, more powers. But Ren doesn't, like, says no. I can beat Yo with my own strength, and I don't need your help. Screw you. But Hao calls him out. He says that you and I both know that you want the same powers as Yo, Ryu, and Faust. You're just being stubborn. I can offer you the same teachings plus more. And Ren just sticks out his spear and asks Hao this one question. What does Yo mean to you? Like, what do you want with him? What makes him so special? And he didn't even answer that, but he replies back that, this is the reaction I expected from you, and I want you to join me. If you join me, you become more powerful, and you will defeat your rival. Of course, he said no, and tries to attack Hao, but he defends himself, and he leaves with the last word saying that, you're an interesting young man, Ren, and one day you'll be mine. And he leaves, and his spear is destroyed. At least the blade is destroyed. And Ren admits that he never felt fear until now, because Ren senses unlimited mana in Hao, and that scares him. I mean, like anybody who encounters Hao, and have the ability to sense mana, will get really terrified. And afterwards, the group returns to the restaurant, probably to go eat some king corn. And the group was having a ball, and issues aside, and Team Iceman is going to leave the island tomorrow, and Horo mentions that Yo was in the restaurant just a minute ago and he's gone. And I was shocked by the last scene of this episode because we get to see Yo and Lyserg. And Lyserg tells Yo that I'm really surprised that you found me and you want to talk with me. And that's the end of the episode, you know? And I'm curious too. Why did Yo seek Lizer out? But I'm sure Yo will ask him, "Hey, Lizer, how are you doing? Are you doing fine?" And also questions like, "Why did you leave? Why the X-Laws, especially after what happened in your match? Why are you still with them?" And that sort of thing. And I wonder in the next episode, Lyserg will tell Yo what he saw when he had a glimpse in the Great Spirit, that vision the Great Spirit gave him. So I wonder if we get the answer there. And Ren, is he going to join Hao out of desperation of what he witnessed in Yo's match? Will he betray Yo? I don't think so. To be honest, I don't know if the manga does. In the manga, he does. But I don't know. This is. I don't think he will. He's too stubborn to rely on anybody's help. Even Howell mentioned this too, that you do want the powers, the same training that Yo and the others had, but you're too stubborn to admit that you want the same thing. He even mentions that. Hao even offers, I can show you that, I can teach you that plus more, and more about me. You get to learn about me and my desires. Anything you want to ask, I will answer. But he said no. I believe that his stubbornness will help him not betray Yo. He wants to defeat Yo on his own terms by his own power and strength. But it's tempting. It's very tempting. And the question is, will he betray Yo just to defeat him? That's the question. In terms of the match, it was Like I said before, the match felt like Team Iceman was doing all the attacking while Team Yo was showing off and not really do much, except that Ryu was protected Yo, and and Faust, showing off Eliza and telling his ancestors' backstory. Oh, there's one thing I want to mention too. In this version of Mephisto E, she's all dressed in black, while in the '01 anime, she's dressed in the nursing outfit. You get to see the symbol of the hospital, and she's dressed all in white, like as a nurse. In this version, she is all in black, but still has this the clothing as a nurse. There's something that I wanted to say that was like, oh, they changed this. But yeah, the match was I whatever's, but I like the ending part between Ren and Hao, and the meeting between Lyserg and Yo. So I can't wait until the next episode, and hopefully we get the reason why he left and joined the X-Laws, and get to see what Lyserg saw in his vision. I want to know that. I really want to know, because I think with his vision, what led him to join the X-Laws in the first place, even though the seeds were already planted there, it's just I want to see the final reason why he left. And yeah, can't wait for the next episode, guys. I can't wait. So thank you all for sticking around, and please give a like, and please comment too, and I'll see you all on the other side of oblivion. Johnny!